March for our fucking lives. How about that? You know what I'm saying? What about the publicity? You know what I'm saying? Front of magazines, all of that. No signs of any terrorism anywhere. Do you know what I'm saying? Who's shocked?
Not me.
No.
Not I. Not at all.
It's.
Don't hold back. What do you mean?
It,
Whatever's caught in there, let it out.
It's kind of all lives matter.
That's exactly what it is.
Yes.
Like, but you know, if all lives matter, then you should be out for Black Lives Matter. If
There
you
you
really
go.
feel like that, it's really not that hard. I mean, I was gonna say she's married to Justin Bieber. I don't.
Oh, you
Oh,
mean
Selena Gomez.
Someone dragged up her old tweets, and it was a perfect example.
Yeah,
When she was saying that, you know, she's not going to get involved in something that's a hashtag.
Because hashtags don't change things.
But-
Next thing I see, hashtag March for Our Lives. I saw
Yeah.
you.
But because you know that could be your life.
That's
Yeah.
the beauty of the
So-
internet.
so-
you know what
Yeah.
it was
You
there?
know, and you know what? You know, people may whatever, but someone said something, and it was Obama when it was at Ferguson. Obama told people, you know, you need to kind of calm down because, you know, change happens, you know, in small
Gradually,
increments.
yeah.
You know, be patient. But, you know, day after March for Our Lives, Obama was on a show saying, you know, I'm glad that, you know, the youth are taking the, you know,
Because
bull by the horns. And I was just like,
But
well
I've said
done.
this about Obama for ages, and my unpopular opinion is that he was just as crappy a president as every other president, and I don't
all
and I
trash.
don't understand why everyone's excited because he's black. Oh, I'm really glad for you that you've got a black puppet of white supremacy. Well done for you. Like, yes, fantastic.
But that's the thing, they're all
it's a
trash
mark.
though, these presidents.
Michelle Obama made him likable.
Yeah.
She was
Yeah,
the
yeah,
blackest
yeah.
thing about him.
Yeah.
Like, that's honestly it. Because I feel like police brutality was horrendous when he was president, and he didn't speak up enough about it. Ferguson, Flint, all of these were happening under his administration, and he did nothing. And, you know, yet children all over the world were still getting bombed to shit because of, you know, the policies that were put into place by his government. And all the time he would act like his hands are tied. But fam, all of the things now that we're seeing, some of the things rather, that we're seeing that people are blaming Trump for, like the Muslim ban and things like that, they started under him. He was the one that was he started the list. So I just think it's interesting that he's come forward and he's like, oh, you're all so brave, you're all so great. Like you said, because when it was Ferguson, he was just like, oh, guys, be patient. It's always black people that have to be patient and forgive all of the time. We are the ones that are expected to have all of the characteristics of humility, yet we're told that we're savages in the same breath. And I don't get it. I just don't get it. Because Black Lives Matter, why are they doing it? They explain to you why they're doing it. When you were like, oh, but shouldn't all lives matter? All lives should matter. Unfortunately, they don't to you guys. So we're just reminding you that Black Lives Matter. Okay, well, why don't you say Black lives should matter? Or why don't you?
Why don't you stop telling us what the fuck to say? How about that?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? How about you do that? Because them man are getting upset because a few people got shot at school by fucking students, bruv. Man are getting shot down by the people that are supposed to be protecting them on the roads. Unarmed for no reason.
I feel like gun control across the board. I want gun control for police officers as well. I want gun control for the average civilian, and I want gun control for the police because they are acting wild. And we found out this morning that the people who shot, I've forgotten his name because, you know, so many black men are shot by police now, but they actually won't be convicted.
Alton Sterling.
That's the one.
Yeah.
That's the one.
Yeah.
And that saddens me because it's gun control when it impacts some people. And again, we have a puppet that they brought forward. Can't remember the name of the black guy who came forward, and he was just like, oh, but you guys rap about guns all the time. So what's the
and where
issue?
the fuck did they get the guns from? Because if the guns weren't available, they wouldn't have
There
them.
we go. So we're still back to gun control. So NRA found you to come and say these wild things, and you're actually proving our point, not theirs. So there you go.
And I think it's, you know, it's not, you know, when you think about All Lives Matter or whatever, is it Dylan Roof that did the
The church shooting.
Yes.
And then
The lone wolf that they took to Burger King.
Yes,
Exactly.
And gave him a bulletproof vest.
You will buy him Burger King.
Yeah.
After he shot dead, what was it?
19?
Nine.
No, 9.
How many was it?
I don't even remember.
I think
It was double digits.
Yeah, it was
at
like
least.
15 people in a
double
church
digit
or something.
in a place of worship, a
Yeah.
church.
And you prayed with them.
Yeah, and you will buy him Burger King. But yeah, and it sounds so bad that I'm gonna be honest, they're all starting to merge into one for me.
Yes.
At the rate at which black men die in America.
Yeah.
That someone was standing in their backyard and they got shot 20 times.
Yeah, Stephon Clark was it? Yeah.
And
There's a mobile phone or
a
something.
mobile phone. And yet, I doubt there will be justice, but you can kill a people in a church, and you get Burger King. It's so even there's no words.
No,
there's no words.
But
for
even
it.
Philando Castile, he told them, I
have a license.
I have a
pistol
license
in
to
the car,
get, and I'm just letting you know that, and you still shot him up in the car.
But I think policemen in America know that you can do it now, and nothing will happen. Like,
of course,
nothing will happen.
Get paid.
Someone rightly said today that we're seeing a modern day lynching. That's what we're seeing. That's all we're really seeing. And people make videos, and some people get excited and they save it on their hard drives because it's like, kill all of them, get rid of them. And that's sad. And I think that America still fails to see black people as more than property. So that we're gonna be there for a while.
But that's why you see all these videos online all the time. You can go and watch black people get shot on there.
Yeah,
I go post a meme and they're trying to shut down my page.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm just like, hold on.
Contravenes the policies of the community. That's what they'll tell us. And it's just, I feel like I felt the same way with the women's march. You know, that was earlier on. My pussy grabs.
No. You know, the thing is,
I done a video about that, and I got so many of these staunch middle class white feminists coming for me. I was like, fuck your pink hats.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Because where were you?
I'm not here for that women's march, and I'll tell you why. Because black women voted for Hillary out in droves because they knew she was the lesser of the two evils.
Yes.
It was white women that didn't
Over
vote.
50% of white women voted for Donald Trump.
And let me know where I am, because Black Lives Matter in the UK, I didn't see a lot of people marching down Oxford Street that didn't look like me. But yet what's happening in America, you all want to come out and be no. Let's be real, because that is across the border. But what happened in terms of shootings that were here, they were in Liverpool. They were, do you know what I mean? Why were you not coming out for that? Why are you coming out for, let's be real, policies that ain't actually directly affecting you at this time? But I see the women's march. So I said on Twitter,
they were out taking selfies, blood, with pink hats on.
I'm not here for it.
Pussies, we're nasty women.
No.
And Scarlett Johansson jumped on stage and she was like reading a poem, and she's like, Trump, prove us wrong. Prove us wrong. So I know from that speech that you, dumb cow, you voted for him. And now you're pissed because now you don't know what to do with yourself. Because women would, and this is why I'm always saying that there's no sisterhood in white femininity. There's no sisterhood in white feminism, because they've never needed a community. They've never needed it, because they've benefited from white patriarchy, white supremacist patriarchy. It's only now that they're realizing that they can't overthrow their fathers and their brothers, that suddenly they're like,
now they want backup.
Yes, now they
That's
want
all
backup.
it is.
And then they'll now rally us and they'll go, black people, white, Hispanic people, this is time to support us because we supported you. It's time to support us women.
When, blood?
When?
But it's the fact that you're saying
receipts, please.
My question is when?
Bruv,
It's time to
receipts,
support us
blood.
women.
I want to see the receipts,
because
fam.
black people and Hispanic people don't come in women, because it's time to support us women. Like what? Like there are also women in these communities as well. So you've never supported us. Don't tell lies. Or maybe the one time that you did one thing. No.
But that's the thing with all the. What was it? Is it the All Lives? Is it All Lives Matter march? What is it called? The
March for Our Lives.
Okay, sorry. March for Our Lives.
Whose lives?
Might as well
for white lives.
But
That's
white
what them man are
children's
saying.
lives.
But the thing is, I saw black people and people of colour there at the forefront, marching.
But they're always there. That's the problem. Is they know they can rely on us to back the thing.
But it's what you said though about having to have humanity. Yeah, we always know, even if it's not for us, the right thing to do is to go there and is to support, and it's just not reciprocated. And I think that was for me with the women marches. Maybe it's the right thing for me to go,
but I'm not going.
Yeah, but because it's not reciprocated, we need to just not go, blood.
Hillary Clinton, like you said, the lesser of two evils. I would prefer to not have to vote for Hillary Clinton, but black women sat there and they went, but you know what? I've got to choose someone.
And let's be honest, Clinton's policies and what they did to the African American community in terms of imprisonment
was a madness.
Was
wild.
It's stomach churning.
Yes,
But black women, they put her on the spot and she had to come with something, and they said, for the good of this country, it's better to have someone with brains.
Right. Yeah. But then, even then, I feel like black women, again, people are expecting black women. Cherry Moraga has an anthology called This Bridge Called My Back, and it's an old anthology. But she talks about the fact that people often think that black women make decisions for everybody else, and oftentimes we do, but sometimes we're just making the decisions for our fucking selves. And that's the problem. When people saw that black women went out in their droves to vote for Hillary Clinton, suddenly they're like, oh, black women are always trying to save us from ourselves. And it's like, black women like, nah, fam, I was genuinely saving myself.
But it's why people felt that Oprah should be president, and I was just
That's
like,
wild.
But it's like, you know why you thought she should be president?
Because you like black women doing things for you.
And you thought that, you know, one, I don't think I love Oprah. She's not qualified to be president.
Yeah.
Like, she's not.
But Trump isn't. So, I mean, if it's a free-for-all, we might as well.
True. But you know what? They thought there's another superhero.
Yes.
There's someone else who will do the work, who will clean up the mess and save us. And I just felt, Jesus Christ.
But while we will simultaneously vilify them, because you will take the things that black women are doing for you, and we've seen it happening even with colonization and the slave trade. You will take the services and the labor of black people, but you will hate them at the time of taking these services from them. So while they would want Oprah to be president, they will cuss her out, call her an ape, a childless, barren woman the whole time, and yet possibly a lesbian. They'll call her all of these things, and then but still want her to implement policies that benefit them and make the world a better place. It's really weird how that happens.
But you know what? There was a local election in America, and black women went out and voted
in Atlanta,
Alabama.
Okay, yes.
The one with the nonce, brother? There was one with the nonce as well, like one of the guys, and they were like, "Yeah, we don't care if he's a nonce."
And for the first time, they had a Democrat be, I think, mayor.
Yeah.
And it was black women. It was. I saw multiple think pieces. Black women came together. I said,
no more.
And you know what? When you see it, I'm just like, no wonder these people think that it's a lifesaver, because for the first time they had a Democratic mayor or whatever position is, because black women literally said to one another,
we've got to stop this.
This
has got to change. But why is it possible? Because we have sisterhood. Across, we see it in the diaspora. We have sisterhood. We can turn to each other and be like, sis, this isn't going to run. And then something's done. Like, I know sisterhood exists because when I had the issue with the Manchester studio, when I wanted to go and do a twerk workshop, and they did their madness, it was the American black women that were just like, this is despicable. And it went viral. So we have it. They don't.
It's true. Because you can, even if a black woman didn't want to vote for Hillary, you know, you had another black woman that said to her,
sis,
listen, and listen well, like, do you know what I mean?
Open your ears.
That's just my question. I'd be like, no, but you knew on the day she came and said, look, I did my job.
I had to do it.
Do you know what I mean?
Had to do it.
But that's why, like, I'm not trying to hear the moaning, like, because someone asked me at the time, you coming to the march? Because man then went, fair enough. I said, I'm not marching for that.
No.
If you're marching for our women, I'll see you there.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? But you can keep your fucking pink hats. That's no different. You taking selfies with your pink hat ain't no different to you going to Africa and holding a little black baby.
Exactly.
And saying, oh, look, I'm saving the world.
And even those pink hats annoyed me as well, because again, it's very limiting on what it says about womanhood, as if all we are reproductive organs. And I just think that that's wild in itself, because then it ostracizes trans women, for instance, and those kind of things there. So I just think, like, when white women are left to their own devices, they just create such problematic shit, and it's wild. And I just think, like, where was someone to just tell you, babes? No, but it doesn't matter, because, you know, they're running with it, and it is what it is. Like, the Me Too movement started by a black woman years ago, and all of a sudden white actresses are jumping forward. And I feel like we definitely need to speak about sexual assault. But
absolutely,
they didn't care when it was a black woman saying Me Too. Suddenly they care now.
You even saw when Lupita came out about Harvey Weinstein,
the only one he refuted.
Harvey Weinstein, exactly, refuted her. I didn't see any actresses come to her defense. I think the only person I think reached out to her, I saw was Viola Davis, if my memory serves me
Viola
correct.
Davis.
But it's always the way when it's our women. Like, even the thing. Remember the sister that was in the Blockbuster movie, and she did you see the Ghostbusters? Sorry.
Yes, Leslie Jones.
Bruv, the amount of abuse she got, and then you got white people coming out saying, "Oh, the fat shaming." But what about the racial abuse that she was getting? Well, you're just gonna forget.
Called her a gorilla, called her King Kong.
Sorts, but you're saying, "Oh yeah, no fat shaming." I'm like, did you not read the rest?
And when she tried to defend herself because a white man was coming at her, they suspended her account.
I can't. It's like George Zimmerman when he post a picture of the gun that he killed Trayvon Martin with, and who's it, Jack on Twitter or whatever his name is. People were appealing to him like, you
do
need
something.
to do something. No, he still has an account, I think.
No, and they won't do anything. They won't do anything, and that's it, because they are there for the free speech of these white supremacists, and you need to leave them. Look at the state of the world that we live in, where George Zimmerman shot a boy, shot him, killed him, and then shot Trayvon, and yet a GoFundMe was set up for him, and he got millions.
Yeah, what kind of mad thing is that?
Of dollars.
But where were all those people at the March for Our Lives? Where were you when people on Twitter were taken to the streets and were, congregating offline to say, look, this is wrong? Where were you? Because I didn't see many people there. Like
I feel like
happened.
Even when we kind of take out race from the narrative, America is so deeply involved with their ownership of guns, and I don't think it's going to change, because when we look at Sandy Hook, like, you were fine with children, little babies being shot,
and that's
if you can take that, you can take anything.
Like, they care more about their guns than they do about the human life.
Because we have a right to our guns because it helps us to protect our property, the land that you stole, that was not yours in the first place.
That's why you needed to protect it in the first place. You know, the ones like, now what? Do you know what I'm saying? The man, they need it for hunting. You don't need a military grade semi-automatic or automatic weapon for that.
It's the projection of their darker psyche. They're talking about needing to protect themselves from things when they are the transgressors. They are the ones that infiltrate and take things. So who are you? You're creating an other. You're creating an other that you need to defend yourself from, that doesn't exist. And even if it does, it's because you vexed them in the first place. Like, that's the problem.
That's why when you look at their military spending, it's gone up again and again. And them man have spent more on arms than the 7 countries below them put together.
But that's interesting, because you still don't have money for trans people to be in the army.
And they don't have money for clean water either.
Right, for Flint.
For Flint, you know what I'm saying? Puerto Rico mash up. Everything mash up. And you ain't got no money.
Trump was happy when he sent them noodles, or he said that he sent them...
Man was chilling there, throwing out toiletries like, yo.
And for you. And for you. And for you.
I was dashing them like it was like man's demo and that.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to lie, like... I think America deserves Trump. They created him.
They do.
Yeah.
They do.
But he is literally the embodiment of what the country represents.
Yeah,
really.
exactly.
So when people say, Trump doesn't speak for us, but he does. That's why he won, bro.
He does.
Do you know what I'm saying? The reason why we got Brexit is because Brexit speaks for this country.
Yeah, and Theresa May and Boris Johnson, all this trash that we have is what we deserve as a collective, because we don't want to change things. And
all
we're
the
fine
shit
with
that Boris says and gets away with, we deserve it all because he's there because of us.
Time after time.
Do you know what I mean? As a country.
I think it's do you know what it is? It's people who speak from certain demographics.
Yes.
And I think sometimes me as a Black Londoner, I'm blinded by what I see on a day to day. I see people who, a lot, my friends, they will come out for Black Lives Matter. But I have to remind myself, that's not all people.
That's not all
people.
That's not all
true.
people.
And I have to remind myself that just because, my friend that don't look like me is marching, because she went to school in, East London, or she went to uni in London, and it's made her see things differently. Yeah. That's not
representative of England. No.
Yeah, like it's not
when you
representative.
go up north, just go to Kent. Just go to Kent.
You don't even need to go up north. You just need to go half an hour outside of London.
Just like, damn.
I think it's the same for America. There are parts of America that are very similar to London, and they will sit on, they might be Black people, they may be, other people of race, and they're like, no, Trump don't speak for me. And I'm like, it may not speak for you,
but it speaks for your country.
But it speaks for your country at large.
You are in a part where you
don't feel it because it's so multicultural.
Like, if you're from California, whoever you are from California, because California, it's the land of more freedom.
Yes, yeah.
It's more accepting that. So when you're sitting, I watch this thing called Young Turks, and they're sitting talking about, Trump. Of course, you're from California. Where people have their rights to the full capacity, regardless of their sexual identity, their race. Yeah. It's very different.
Yeah,
but that's the thing. If you're not from one of the biggest cities in this country, it's the other. That's what you gotta realize. You know what I'm saying? Even if you're from Surrey and that, it's just down the road. But you go to the school there, and you might be one of 3 Black men in your year. Do you know what I mean? And you're Black Robert, even though you're the only Robert. You're still Black Robert, blood. You know what I mean? You're still Black Robert, fam. You can't forget you're Black Robert, fam. Because man call you Black Robert, and you're like, oh yeah, bro.
And they start to embrace it after a while, and they start relaxing their hair.
And then when they see you, they got their fist out and they try and spud you and that because you're Black Robert.
That's mad.
It's cool, bruv. Like, man's not here for that.
No.
So, bun the march. Not interested. Keep your pink hats and all that, bruv. If it's not for everyone, Me not care.
Yes.
Boom.